An eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, John Santos, and today we have a very special guest, a very beautiful and successful guest. I am a fan. She's very humble. I love her smile. I've messaged her like number of times about her content and its connection to her smile because it's just, it brightens the mood. It really is contagious. I know her story. I know, the love story of her husband and how it's all in her content. So see, I'm a fan. Our special guest for today, guys, she is amazing. An example of what a successful content creator is. Guys, the reason why I'm so hyped for all the listeners and viewers, 156.3 thousand followers on TikTok. Wow, that is like what 100k on TikTok alone, and on Instagram she's like 10,000 and climbing. I know it's not about the followers, but there's a magic that's happening because there's a lot of people who is following. She is really influencing people in a positive way, and I am blessed. I just can't contain myself. We're in the presence of greatness, my friends. So I'm raising the bar here. Let's all welcome our very special guest for today's episode, the very beautiful, very amazing Ana Taniegra. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name. Is that correct?
No, that's good.
See?
That's good, yeah.
Spanish influence there. Ana
Yeah, you got it.
Taniegra, welcome to the show, Ana.
Thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate it. Wow, that intro. Thank you.
Guys, for all listeners and viewers, she did turn a bit red. well, Ana, again, we talk off cam and weeks ago. I would just want to say thank you for you being with us, investing time to be with us here in the show. I know you're a very busy person. You're focusing on a lot of things, but you really spend time to be with us here in the show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really love to be here and talking with you. This is amazing.
Oh, all right. So let's start this episode. Ana, again, I am amazed, right? I am amazed. And the reason why, guys, you might say, hey, Jan, you're just, you're making a big deal out of it. There's a lot of content creators out there on TikTok who are massive. Yes, and that's true. But what makes Ana unique? I'm not saying this because she's the guest here in today's episode, but you wouldn't see her dancing on her content. And this is true. Go
One video of me dancing.
yeah,
That's it.
but you know what I'm talking about, right? She's very beautiful. And she's not, flashing parts of the body or just dancing silly, the trend on TikTok. And you know what I'm talking about, Ana, right? And
Yeah.
it's very difficult to grow if you are not following the trend. But here is an example of, she's just creating content that is pure. I can really feel the positivity, the love, the humility. That's the reason why I'm so amazed to climb up the ladder that is opposing the trend on TikTok. So, guys, Ana, before we go into the topic, let's give the viewers and the listeners an overview of your journey. Who or what influenced you to be in this position of greatness that you are in?
Yeah, thanks, Jan. So I think it all started when I started dating Jonathan long distance. And obviously, I'm from the US. I grew up in Michigan and then went to Chicago for college. So, just dating Jonathan for like 4 years, being in a long distance relationship, I really didn't have a lot of like role models or people to look up with that were like me and Jonathan, right? No one in my family had ever dated someone that wasn't white or someone from a different country. So it was really hard for us. And I think we struggled a lot with our long distance and trying to figure out, each other's communication methods and everything like that. So I didn't really talk about Jonathan much in my personal life, but then when I moved to the Philippines in December of 2020, that's when I started to make more content with Jonathan. And I realized a lot of people were in the same position I was, and I had a great opportunity to kind of share a love story, and then at the same time share my just love and appreciation for the Philippines and of course the people and the food. I'm a big foodie. So if you watch my content, that's mostly what it's about, because I think the more people talk about their intercultural relationships and show that it can work out, I think it gives a lot more normalcy to it, where, only a couple, decades has this type of marriage been allowed. So I think it's really important to, give light to that. So that's why I
Wow.
started TikTok. Yeah.
I love that. I have a lot of questions, but again, I don't wanna. It's
Mhm.
a bit personal, so I'm gonna message you those questions. But you mentioned. Okay, I'm gonna get. This is not connected to the topic, but isn't it isn't it weird that you're talking about um the Philippines, but you're not a Filipino? So did you ever experience like bashers or people like, hey, you're white? Because you mentioned it, right? It was like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
races joined together and we're cool with it, but
Mhm.
not everyone in the community is okay with that. So did you
Yeah.
experience like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't try to focus on the negative comments debate. Like, I'm not trying to be that way, but a couple times I have addressed it, and I think um, there's two types of people who write hateful comments, right? People who are ignorant and uneducated, and then people who are just a straight up hater. So
Oof.
when I get a really hurtful comment or something that's like really like, who would write that? I normally ask them a question first. Like when I get a comment, go back home. You're
Mm,
not welcome here. You're
really?
a colonizer. Oh, yes. Almost every
What
day.
what
Yeah.
okay. Is that wait. Now I don't want to get pissed off, but that's weird.
Yeah.
Was that a what do you call that? Like a direct message, a private message or a comment?
Most of them are comments because from my TikTok settings, unless we're
Yeah.
both following each
Yes,
other,
yes,
you
yes.
can't message.
Wow.
Yeah. And then a
Crazy.
lot of Filipinos are like, there's no way you get those comments. And I'm like, yeah, because I filter them out
Exactly. Yeah.
or I delete them. But I normally ask them questions because some people just don't really have a good
Mm,
like education
yeah.
about it, or they're not very intercultural.
Mm,
So I ask a question, and then those haters who just no matter what you say, they're gonna be like,
yeah.
calling you names. Then those people I let be. And I don't even block haters most of the
Mm.
time because I think it's kind of funny in a way.
Yeah, let them
I just
see.
leave the
Let them see
comments
that you're
there.
happy and you're successful.
Yeah. And then sometimes the mean comments are like the ones that people reply to the most. So sometimes I don't even defend myself, other
Right.
people defend me. And that feels kind of nice.
Wow. When you were explaining that,
Mm,
once you really put your brand out there, like you, me, we're like
mm,
content creators. We're a brand. We should assume that not everyone will love us. Not everyone will like what we do. There are
yeah.
supporters. There are really people that really loves us, but there are also, like what you've said, like bashers that sometimes they just wake up and their top three things to do is like to bash you.
Yep. Yep.
I remember before, um, I there was a review, but the good thing is they gave me like 3 stars, so that's good enough.
Oh.
But yeah, but the review is like weird. Like, you can't even speak English, so stop trying to create podcast. Like, I never said that I'm good at English. I'm a Filipino. English not my first language. So, things like that. So I understand where you're coming from. So, people and their stupid ideas.
You can't get away from
Oh
it.
yeah, show them the success. Show them, the blessings. You just focus
Exactly.
on the good. I always say this: focus on the good and focus on what God created you to be, and
Mm.
help out, reach out, and make a difference. They are always think that they are. It's not personal. They could be making bad comments or against you, but deep inside there's a big problem. So always look with mercy, always look with the lens of love, so to speak. So that's the reason, guys, why I am a fan of Anna. She is a successful content creator, and she really deals with people with love. Is if I were her, I would black dot and then just delete it, or like what other people do. They really have a long trend of like, no, I'm right and you're wrong, and you're this and you're that. So, but again, guys, I've consumed content from TikTok. I followed Anna, and you can take my word, it's pure love. It's pure positivity. Well, yeah, food.
Yep. A
But
lot of
yeah.
food content.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, so Anna, we talked about your basic an overview of your journey, a little tips there to overcome bashers, which is connected to really how to dominate social media. Now, we're excited, our listeners and viewers are really excited to know, tips on how to grow and dominate social media. It may be on TikTok, or like us on podcasting, or Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, in social media. Coming from a successful content creator, showing love, showing positivity, dominating TikTok. The floor is yours, my friend.
All right, so I even wrote down some notes for you guys so I wouldn't forget. But I think the number one thing is that you have to have a niche, right? That's what everyone says. You have to kind of pick a topic, have a niche, and it can have like sub niches to it, right? Like, so it's not all about, oh, my life in the Philippines, it's about being married, having cross cultural relationships, these type of things. But I think it's really important to stick with a niche and then kind of branch out from there, because you'll have more opportunities once you have followers to kind of, have a sub niche here and there. But the most important thing is just to pick out that one topic to really focus on. And then I would say, once you have your main topic, really try to be consistent in posting, have like a posting schedule and everything.
What's your
Make sure
what's your
you,
schedule in posting content? Like, first, what's your
uh-huh.
schedule in creating content? Is this something that you plan, or you just record everything and then sort it out after the within the day or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit of both. So if I
Mm.
know I'm gonna have like a really busy weekend or something like that, I'll normally try to like batch
Yeah.
content. So do a couple videos here and there. But a lot of times I'll just make a video or two like every day and upload it, so it'll be like a little more
Mm.
like fresh. But you can definitely batch content. It just kind of depends on what your niche is.
Right.
Yeah. But for a schedule, I normally post at certain times a day, because if you look at your like analytics
Yeah.
on TikTok and Instagram, you can tell where your followers are most present. So that's what I normally do. Post 1 to 3 times a day.
Wow. Yeah. So being consistent, it's very difficult, right, to be a content creator and be consistent in it. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I started my podcast, like everybody were saying, hey, because back then it's not a trend. Podcasting is just for like chosen few. And
Yeah.
then in the Philippines, it's not. It's more on YouTube vlogging rather
Mm-hmm.
than audio based podcasting. So that's where I came from. And then being consistent, there will be time that you will feel that, hey, am I doing right? It's just dragging. Nothing's happening. The metrics are all flat. Well, in my case,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I experienced. So, but really, consistency and dedication, that goes hand in hand. You really need to show up. You really need to do. And, um, fast forward, God really blessed us that we got, 20,000 solid supporters in 29 countries worldwide. So I really, really agree in what Anna is saying here, guys, about being consistent. You don't need to post every day, right? You don't need to post every day. There are tips that you need to because of the momentum in TikTok. But
Mm-hmm.
it depends on your content and in your approach. If you're working, and of course you cannot focus on that. But like Anna here, she's like massive, so she's really focusing on that. Like me, I have a company that creates content for me. I just record it, so we're releasing like 6 posts per day on Instagram, things like that. But again, we started like one post. But the main thing is you need to be consistent. You need to really be dedicated and consistent in doing the thing that you're called to do. Right, Anna?
Sometimes you're not going to start off with posting 3 times a day. Like that's too overwhelming. But I think an important thing is just posting consistently, whatever your schedule is, whatever you can manage, and then making sure your content is quality, right? And it doesn't matter at first, like, oh, I'm not getting a viral video, I'm not getting all these likes, because you don't want to be stuck in a niche that you hate. You know what I mean? Like if you start making content and you're like, I don't really love it. Well, what if you go viral for that? You're going to be stuck doing something you don't like. So even at the beginning phases, pick something you like, be authentic, be genuine, and also stick to your values, because
Mm.
I think we can get so caught up, right? You get a couple views and then you're getting, brand ambassadors for something you might not actually endorse in your normal life. So I would say just be really true to your values and genuine to yourself.
Wow. Well, I wanna. I just hit my mic, so sorry. they're gonna be angry at me. Like, what did you do? We're gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult to edit. Anyways, you mentioned like stick to your values, and
Mhm.
it's something that you don't hear from content creators, especially on TikTok. Because the reason why I say so, you know, TikTok is very different from other platforms. Let's say I'm from Instagram, and Anna here, my friend, is from TikTok. Although she has presence on Instagram, it's two different worlds, right? Different
Yeah.
culture. It's very different, guys. It's very different. So when we go to TikTok, you will see content that are, well, entertaining, things like that. You don't really think of values, right? You just
Mhm.
take a shot of you dancing, and then you post it up, and it's gonna get hits and whatnot. Um, but again, you mentioned that you are focusing on values, and it shows on your content. For all our listeners and viewers, Anna, can you explain like how it's connected to content, and why is it
Mhm.
important? That value
Example.
based content.
Yeah. So for an example, I get a lot of questions about politics, like, oh, are you voting? Things like that. Well, first of all, I'm not a Filipino citizen,
Yeah.
so I
Why
cannot
would
vote.
they ask you that in the
Oh
first
my
place?
goodness,
Well,
I
sorry,
get so
sorry.
many comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But as an example,
I love you
I've
already,
chosen.
Anna. I love you already.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So, as an example, I've chosen not to make content about politics. And I think what people sometimes mess up is they think any content is good content.
Mm.
But if you're not educated, if you don't have experience in something, why will you make content about it? So why will I make content about politics when I don't have education in politics? I don't know a lot about it. So I'm not going to make content about that. And I think a lot of times it can be very divisive and very dividing. And that's the opposite of what I want on my
Love
page,
that.
right?
Mm.
I want to unify people together,
Mm.
especially Americans and Filipinos. So I'm not going to bring up politics. And that doesn't mean I'm not political,
Mm.
because even not bringing up politics is political, right? But I'd rather have an in-person conversation versus a comment that,
Wow.
doesn't have much face value.
Now you see, guys, why I'm a fan of Anna. There you go, guys. There you go. Mic drop. If I can drop this, I would, but no, I would not.
Yeah,
I love
please
that.
don't,
I
please
love that.
don't.
Well, on that note, Anna, did you receive any like proposals or pitch to endorse any politician or brands that you feel that is in contrast in your beliefs and your what you stand for as a brand?
Uh, Not specifically with politics.
Mm,
I
yeah.
I have something in the making that kind of relates to politics, but it's not like cemented yet, so I shouldn't talk about it.
Sure.
But with certain brand ambassadoring, like people asking me to endorse a clothing company that I know is just fast fashion.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna endorse that. Like I have a lot of
Ooh.
DMs like,
Okay.
oh, this jewelry or this or
Right.
that, but if
Right.
it's not local
Yeah,
made,
it's
if it's
massive in
you
TikTok,
know,
right? Things like that. It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
big. It's very
So
big.
yeah, so certain things like that, I'm not gonna support fast fashion. I'm not
Mm.
gonna support, things that aren't ethically made. So whatever I choose to support, I want to be behind it 100%.
Wow, love that. See, guys, authenticity. Loved it. Love it. All right, Anna. So before we end the discussion about how to grow and dominate social media, your takeaway for all our listeners and viewers, a giveaway tip for their social media journey. May it be they're planning to jump and start their brand, or they're already there and they're stuck. They don't know what to do.
I think one thing I didn't mention that is really, really important, especially if you're going to get into social media, if you're on a kind of a stuck point, is you need to figure out who your audience is. If you don't know who your audience is, how will you make content for them? And I got a comment and it was like, you're Filipino baiting, or you're, just trying to get all the Filipino views. And I'm like, well, 90% of my audience is Filipinos, or, they're Filipinos that live abroad. So why wouldn't I make content for them? Those are the people who support me. Those are the people who, want to be invested in this journey I have. So really figuring out who your target audience is and then making content based off of that. And that's going to bring your views. That's going to be your support team, on the social media aspect.
Love that. Wow, there you go, guys. Amazing story of Anna and her journey, tips on how to grow and dominate social media, and a powerful takeaway. Amazing. I'm a fanboy to the highest level, Anna.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Mission accomplished again, guys. But we're not done yet, my dear. We are not done yet. Yes, we talked about the main topic. You gave us an overview of your journey, who you are, and what you do. It's not done yet. Now, the part where we are going to play a game. It's a tradition that we do in the show. It's called the Creative Fast Talk. I'm going to be asking you questions, and you are not allowed to spend time thinking what the right answer would be. First word that comes into your mind, shoot. All right?
Okay, so just one word response?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
feel free if you want to share more depending on the question. Feel free, but most of the question could be answerable by one word, or I will be giving you option which one to choose.
Okay, got it. I'm
All right,
ready.
all right, and guys, for all our listeners and viewers, she is turning red again.
It's the skin.
It's
And no
either it's
aircon.
either she's nervous or it's very hot because it's summer in the Philippines. So either which.
I have no fan, no aircon. I want this audio to be crisp.
Wow, there you go. Authenticity again. All right, my dear. Are you ready, Anna?
Yes.
All right, let's start with the easy part. Sun or snow?
Sun.
Structured or chaotic?
Structure.
Love or money?
Love.
Okay, if you were an animal, Anna, what animal would you be and why?
I would be a mouse because I've loved mice since I was a kid, and they're so soft and I could hide anywhere and eat everything.
Wow. I was like, it's so cute, and then you connected. I can hide. Nick, you are the only one, and we are on episode 91 already. You are the only one who answered that. Like released episode
Really?
73, but we're done episode 91. You are the only one that answered that. Wow, that's like a record breaking answer. She wants to be a mouse because she can hide and eat a lot. Why not?
I mean, that's the best of both worlds. I mean,
All right, next question, my dear. Popcorn and movies or dinner and dancing?
popcorn and movies.
Okay. Now, next, I would skip three questions because you answered popcorn and movies. Name your top three movies of all time.
Okay. The Godfather, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and of course Pride and Prejudice, Keira Knightley version.
Ooh, you mentioned The Godfather. I don't know if you can, that book there. That one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one. So it's
I
like
love it.
super vintage book, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the values in that movie. So love that.
It's
Perfect.
so,
Perfect.
I love that movie. I could go on and on about it, but this is fast talk, so I have to stay focused.
See, guys, why I love Ada, she's like, amazing. Next, the mountains or the beaches?
Mountains.
Your favorite color and why?
Pink because it makes me happy.
All right, next, soap or toothbrush?
What?
Soap or toothbrush, my dear?
What? Soap because I think I would still put it in my mouth as toothpaste just to try to be clean. I don't know. That's an awful question.
All right, next, passenger or driver?
Driver.
All right, Anna, what are you afraid of?
Mm, a meaningless life.
Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. Love that. Love that. All right, what is your dream superpower and why?
Hmm.
And don't tell me you can turn into a mouse and hide so you can eat a
No,
lot.
no, no. It won't be that one. I think I would want to know if people are telling the truth or not. Like a lie
Whoa.
detector.
Love that. It's kind of similar to, the lasso of truth of Wonder Woman. I don't know if you're familiar with it. So whenever she guys to tell the truth, they cannot lie. So love
I
that.
don't know that, but now I want to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. It's the power. It's that power that lasso can really. It brings out the truth in a person. So they're compelled to really say what is asked. So love that. Check it out. Check it out. Next, what is something that is always in your bag when you were a kid?
I was a kid. Oh, let me think. What was in my bag as a kid?
Think.
Probably something stupid like a rock or like
What?
like a doll or something. Like
Well,
I don't know.
I can understand a doll, but a rock? Why would you put a rock in your bag?
I had a whole drawer of rocks that I collected. I thought I was
Wow.
some kind of scientist.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
Sparkles, I'll take it.
Right, right. All right, next question. What is the weirdest food you've tried so far
Hmm.
in your travels, different countries, different cuisines? What's the weirdest food you've tried so far? And the Philippines can offer you a lot. So
Yeah.
there's a lot
I
of
mean,
weird food out there.
I have tried balut, but I didn't eat the whole thing. I just
Nah,
had like the yolk and then the soup part.
nah.
So I don't know if that's like exotic or like weird enough. But
It's funny I'm a Filipino, but I don't eat balut. Yeah.
yeah, I
Nope.
feel like it's either a yes or a no thing. You either love it or hate it.
I feel when I peel off the shell, I feel that I'm Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Yep.
All right,
I
all
had
right,
to go vegetarian before because of those. I got two in my head.
all right, all right, all right. Next, this last question could turn into something serious depending on how you take it. All right. The question is, if you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why? Anyone?
Is it bad if I say I wouldn't bring anyone back?
Sure, sure. It's all good. And explain why. So you have the power. You've been given the power to bring back anyone back from the dead. So you decided to say, you decided not to do so. Why?
Yeah. I think some things are meant to be. You know, it's like everyone has a time for a purpose. And yeah, it's not always right to bring someone back. I don't know. Like, I've even had grandparents pass away, but, it was their time. They didn't have anything left hardly. So I think it's okay, to grieve and then, make additional memories.
Love that. Love that. It's a cycle, right?
Hmm.
There's a time for everything. The Bible tells that there's a cycle. There's seasons. There's a
Yes.
perfect time for everything. So again, like what you've said, it's not it's not always happy. There's always ups, downs, and that's the beauty of life. So I
Hmm.
love that you answered it in a different perspective that gives us another awakening of how to approach life. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Anna. Anna, thank you for being being an awesome human being and just laughing and answering the silly questions. It really it showed us the human part of your brand, and it's something that we really love, and it cultivates trust. So thank you so much, Anna. I know you have a lot going on: events, social media accounts, projects online, or any releases. Feel free to promote them. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. So, if you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm Antan101. So ANNETANN 101. And then my Instagram is almost the same, but a little different. It's Antan10. And there's only one N in the tan. So TAN 10. That's
Wow.
all. That's all I have for you.
Wow, guys, please connect with Anna. I'm sure she can help you in your journey towards success. Anna, again, thank you so much for being such a good sport, sharing your journey, giving us tips, your perspective. It is such a blessing to have you in the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, always remember, have a positive outlook in life, smile, and God bless you. Bye.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.